What going on, everybody? This is David Missler here, voice of Autism, episode 126. And wow, a lot of stuff crazy been happening. like what the coronavirus or COVID-19, but a lot of stuff been happening crazy. Happened to the United States, ill on lockdown, or technically happened to the world. It's crazy, but yeah. My fiance Val, unless you get back to California right now, they're on lockdown over there. What is going on? Been talked about on the news and on other places. It's mind-boggling, but yeah. And yet, the link to my fiance YouTube channel down below. You gotta go watch any her video. But it's been crazy. What's it? Like, she's doing fine. It's just that she under lockdown in Los Angeles right now because of what's been going on. If you guys know what I mean. Like, it's just crazy. But wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now let's get to the news.
Does anyone else have body modification as a stim, have a really high pain tolerance that means you have more of them? I basically had it confirmed that tattoos venture into stim territory for me today. I have 7 already. This was my first color one. I got this Homer on my thighs since The Simpsons is one of my spins, and my lovely artist, @Dolly Tattoos on IG, was astonished that I was able to spend the whole 2.5 hours sitting happily reading and staying in one place. She couldn't believe when I said it relaxed me and that I once fell asleep during one. If anything, by the end it was more like I wanted it to be over because I was overstimulated and wanted to run around, not because I was in more pain than I could handle. Image description: tattoo on the front of a white woman's thigh. It's a love heart with an ornate purple outline containing Homer Simpson wearing an ill-fitting wedding dress and carrying a pink bouquet of flowers. He's in front of a glitteresque turquoise background, with 2 smaller gradiented turquoise hearts bursting out of the purple border.
Okay, let me bring it up. Getting my haircut actually make me sleepy and tired, and it get me stimulated. I don't know why, but it make me feel good when I get my hair cut. And yeah, I know it's about time for me to get my hair cut anyway. Starting to get over my eye, but that would make it look good. But it is time for me to get my hair cut. But with me getting my hair cut, it make me feel stimulated or good, like give me a vibe.
CW puzzle piece. Dot, 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 dot. Hi. Please read the whole thing. I follow a brand of shoes for adults and kids called Monkey Feet. Starting tomorrow, they're doing a pre-order for autism shoes. I'll post photos with more information in the comments. The business owner does use the term autism awareness. She was initially going to release puzzle piece shoes, and after a lot of feedback, she decided to come up with an infinity print too. Because they were already in production, she's still doing the puzzle piece shoes, but she does have infinity symbol shoes, and she's donating all proceeds to Asan. If that's something
good.
you're interested in, posted
That
more
is
photos
good.
and links below.
If you guys know, next month it technically would be Autism Awareness Month, but we call it Autism Acceptance Month for people like that in the community. But yeah.
So I came across this group and thought, fuck yeah. An autistic gaming group. So I added myself. Just got accepted today. Then this parade of BS ensues where they say that I should ask an autistic like I am an autistic, you cunts. It's literally the first question I had to answer when joining. And to say I've got internalized ableism when they're the ones treating me as if I'm some dumb ableist neurotypical when they know I am autistic, like what the actual fuck? Also, muting me for 3 days BC they want to silence and hashtag actually autistic voice. Fuck you motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. It happens sometime. Just think about it. It stuff do happen. It's crazy.
Next month, April, is Autistic Acceptance Month.
Mm-hmm.
Note, we do not support autism awareness because it is a hate campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some do's and don'ts for April. I'll start. Do support the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, Autistic Women and Non-Binary Network, Foundations for Divergent Minds and other autistic lead organizations. Do not support Autism Speaks.
Mm-hmm. Got that right. But yeah, it's stuff that I know about for a long time. I'm definitely gonna find a post and post about it on definitely on my page if I could find full team. But yeah, it's something you have to think about in a way. Most people don't think about that. And it's crazy need to, you know, be actual thing. And last week, what's like last Monday, I was in Seattle, New Orleans. Well, I like the TV show. They had an episode about an autistic person. But I find good, and good news is that they did not be ableistic like our TV shows are. So yeah.
Howdy, autistics only please. Does anybody else have sensory problems with bidet use? I've had a lot of allistics telling me to just get a bidet, but they physically make me uncomfortable and I was wondering if I'm the only one pensive face.
Well, it depends on who you are.
CW, Mental Age Theory, Autism Mom's Puzzle Piece Mention. Someone in a toddler feeding group posted about her son asking for an apple, and she was excited because he never eats fruit. There was more to it, but my issue, in the beginning of the post she said her son is 4 years old, but mentally he is about age 2. I commented this, and it was not well received, to say the least. Is there another way I could put this that would be more effective? I have a feeling I should say something when I see parents using this terminology. I also feel like I should say something to my next door neighbor, who has puzzle piece stickers on her vehicle and wears a puzzle piece necklace because her 2 kids are autistic. But is it just not my place? For context, I'm allistic. I'm a parent, but not to an autistic child that I know of. He's only 2.
Well, sometimes people who have autistic people, they don't know better. It's people who are autistic or talk to multiple autistic people who do understand. So it depends. It's different for everybody. That's what I'm saying.
My poor baby is devastated that the air in his balloon is almost gone. He was crying at bedtime and said he feels bad for the balloon. He is so loving and empathetic but becomes so attached to inanimate objects. Is that an autistic trait? I hate seeing him upset. Any suggestions to help him cope?
Well, there is answer to help cope, but I had a connection with offsets when I was younger. I still do a little bit, not much, but a little bit with my phone because I like keep in contact with my fiance. So yeah, and because I do work on her.
CWR word. When you go get a tattoo and your tattoo artist says R asterisk charted multiple times and you don't want to correct him cause he's literally stabbing you.
I would put a bad review for him doing that if it were me. That's what I would do.
I'm trying to tread carefully on this. I've read all the pinned posts and will do my best to abide by it all, although if memory fails me, please just mention it and I'll fix this post. I've also tried to do research. I'm 17. I fit a lot of the traits for autism. I saw a post recently about signs of autism in girls. I'm FTM, but was raised female in a fab, and I fit everything on it except seizures. I was quiet as a kid, have my obsessions over random things. Was always really good at math and programming, like years ahead, but had to work at everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I lost interest, but am still good at them. I get overstimulated mostly by noises or being overwhelmed, and
I don't have all, but the math part, that part I'm pretty good at. It's just that I have slacked a little bit, but I did not have all those traits. Noise don't affect me, bright or lights they don't affect me, and arts of what touch don't affect me. But yeah, everybody is different on the spectrum. Nobody is the same.
have light sensitivity. I have an extremely hard time with conversations and reading tones. I've noticed I matched more of the traits as years have gone on. I never had any of the early traits that I've read about, like age 2 and younger. Never really had language problems other than being unable to articulate emotions when I'm upset. However, the reason I've not self-diagnosed myself is because I've read that autism is specifically a genetic disorder, and the pinned post verified that. As far as I know, nobody in my family is autistic. And I was never tested for it. So I feel kind of like I might just be broken. And that hurts a lot to think about. I don't feel like I fit anywhere. It bothers me to think about on a daily basis and is really discouraging. I wanted to ask, is there any way I could still be autistic? Even if, as far as I know, nobody in my family has it. I saw something about a genetic mutation, but that seems rare, so I highly doubt I have that. Anything. Or am I actually just broken? Edit, fix some language. Edit 2, I think I'm going to self-DX. I match all of my SO's traits and have more he doesn't have. I'll be getting resources from my doc when I see her in a few months and seeking a professional DX just for my own peace of mind. Thank you, all of you, Blue Heart.
Okay, the thing is that everybody is different on autism spectrum. Nobody is the same, and different might be technically they are autistic. They don't realize it. They probably had past family members before them that they don't know about that had it, or it depends. It depends. Like, it's a very hard question to say.
Hello, waving hand, medium light skin tone, waving hand, medium light skin tone, waving hand, medium light skin tone. My son and I are very close. He's 9 years old. I think we are having a hard time understanding each other, and so I turn to you. What should I do when my child lashes out at me? For example, his tablet is slow and he will hit me and call me names. Or, if the movie he is watching doesn't have a menu screen or movie title in the beginning of the movie, he will scream, pull my hair, and turn the movie off or punch the TV. I say to him, I know it's disappointing when the tablets are slow, not loading, has ads, or goes blurry. I understand it's upsetting. How can I help? Or, sometimes movies don't have menu screens or movie title. Is there another movie we can watch? He usually gets angry and will threaten to hit me or hit me. I'm trying to help him desperately. I don't like watching him struggle with his emotions, and I want to do anything to help. What else can I do to support him?
Ooh, even though he's autistic, that's something you gotta work on. A temperament like that, ooh, like literally, that a temperament issue. So yeah.
CW, Asperger's. Okay, this post is going to be a mess, so I apologize in advance. I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was 7, and used that label as an identity for a number of years. Then as a teenager I learned some unfortunate truths about Hans Asperger and began to distance myself from the label, and since joining this group I have discovered that the term is also largely seen as a functioning label. I now feel really uncomfortable with having the term Asperger's associated with me, but I doubt there's anything I can do about that as it's my official diagnosis. For all intents and purposes I am autistic, I say Autta, where before I would have playfully described myself as an Aspie, and this is all fine. But the fact that I am diagnosed with Asperger's, rather than with autism, makes me feel somehow wrong. The word is now pretty much a relic of the past, but it is still irrevocably tied to me due to my diagnosis, and I wish it wasn't. Does anyone else diagnosed with Asperger's instead of autism feel similar? I guess I don't want to be the only one who feels like this.
It is true. I sometimes feel that way. But you gotta keep on moving. You can't stop. It passed. You gotta keep on moving. Like literally. Because if you don't, you're going to consume and take over. And that would not be good. Like literally. Because if you don't fight it, it will be very bad. And it's very dangerous if you can't get control over it. But yeah, anyway. I'm trying to figure out my phone for a little bit because it's been building up data for no reason again. Miscellaneous. But yeah.
Do you guys like to repeat the same media over and over rather than find new things? I can't tell you how many times I've played Portal and Portal 2 or Two Town, watched Pirates of the Caribbean, or reread the same books.
Everybody is different. But yeah. Like I'm different. Everybody is. Nobody is the same.
Hello, fellow autistic smiling face with smiling eyes. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about people putting S at the end of a statement in order to indicate sarcasm? I saw this first of Reddit and it was incredibly helpful to me. So I've adopted it and now use it all the time. Do you think that if it was more widespread it would make things more accessible for you? Should we advocate people do this more often to accommodate autistic people?
It depends on who you are and how it affects people. But yeah, sorry about that. It's a very big opinion, and it depends on who you are. But yeah.
I just got out of my appointment to start the process for an autistic diagnosis, and the psychiatrist says that she can't say for sure I am autistic. She preferred to use pervasive developmental disorder, which is like autism, according to her, but apparently it's no longer a diagnosis that is used. She said I have a cluster B disorder for sure, but can't pinpoint it in one session. I've been referred to an autism center, where they can hopefully figure me out better. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am still very disappointed. I'm in the USA where healthcare is overpriced, and I have no insurance, so a long drawn-out process, involving a long drive to a big city, seems so daunting. According to the doctor, I didn't check enough boxes to be considered autistic. I'm starting to wonder if this is all worth it. I just want help thriving, and don't know what I should even be looking for. I'm 35, work a dead-end job, live with my parents, and I'm miserable. Can anyone share similar stories with happy endings? I need a little encouragement right now.
Well, I work part-time, but that's because I'm doing journalism classes. And different might be autistic. They technically are autistic, but doctors, they are neurotypicals. You have better chance of being confirmed by autistic doctor who understand autistics than you do a neurotypical. But different, I guarantee autistic. So yeah.
Today is so sunny and I hate it. Everyone thinks I'm weird or mad. The reason I hate it is because it illuminates every little thing into full HD and creates total visual overwhelm for me. Even putting on my sunglasses and yellow tinted lenses over the top is still too much, so I have to put my earbuds in too when going out of the house. Please tell me I'm not alone. I'm new to the ADHD, ASD realization that's what all my symptoms have been about. Heart soup, thank you, gorgeous people.
Yeah, everybody is different, and it do affect everybody in different way.
I would really appreciate some input from autistic adults. My daughter is 4 years old and due to start mainstream school in September. Being autistic, we had a meeting with the head teacher about how best to support her and ensure her needs are met. The head teacher stopped me at one point while I was talking about how she stims and told me that I should try and reduce this over the summer so she doesn't stand out as much.
Don't.
At this point, I want to pull her out completely, but my husband is saying perhaps she didn't mean it that way or she is just a little misguided. Other autistic adults would be appalled at this, wouldn't they?
Yes.
I mean, no one is going to tell me to change my baby for anyone, and I will never hide who she is, but am I overreacting?
No.
Appreciate any insight.
No. I would pull my kid out if teacher did that, and I went through hell when I was younger because of people like that. Really, teachers like that, out of here. That's what I think.
Does everyone end up feeling like they're too much when they date a neurotypical? That's how I'm feeling, especially since men seem to be very closed off already. It's hard to have a relationship with someone who hasn't gone to therapy, doesn't talk about their feelings, doesn't talk about anything deep with their friends. It's making me feel crazy for having emotions, but I just really can't do this anymore. I'm tired of being the strong one or having to be the one to communicate all the time.
Well, me and my fiance were both autistic, and it's crazy.
Hi everyone. I'm self-DX until I can get myself together enough to get diagnosed, but in the meantime I'm finding that I struggle with a lot of internalized ableism. I don't feel comfortable using STEM toys in front of people or discussing my autism at all, even with people I trust. Has anyone else struggled with this and feels comfortable sharing how they deal with it?
Well, I don't let other people tell me how to do it, and if they get offended by me, I just walk off to ignore them.
Is it weird that I hold a baby doll at night and buy actual baby clothes for her? Also, every one of my stuffed animals has a name.
Well, everybody is different. Nobody is the same. Just think about it. It's up in LSA. Nobody is the same on the autism spectrum. Every autistic person is different. Training coming. They're actually a train coming outside.
Do you know how to get tested for autism if your family won't allow you? My gram tells my doctor that I believe everything on the internet, and she gaslights me a lot. I know they're in denial, and I know they're still in denial that I'm disabled.
Train.
IDK, opinions.
If you have parents who are gaslighting you, you need to get out of there. That's it. Narcissistic and toxic. And yet, that's a train going by. Like, Willie, if you have parents who are gaslighting you, that is a sign that you just need to get out of there. And it's better for your health than anything.
Hi guys. Autistic only post even after 24 hours. About a month ago, I made a group specifically for BIPOC, Black, Indigenous People of Color, Autistic only, and I want to know anyone that is BIPOC and autistic want to join. Please note anyone that is not BIPOC and autistic, you need to be both, are not allowed in any group. Group name is called I'm a BIPOC autistic and proud. It's a safe space, so there you go.
Oh boy. Not trying to be racist or anything, but your checkmate media group will race it that way by letting one color in there. Be more open, just be more open to everybody who is autistic, not just one color. Because I dealt with somebody who was a racist. I'll be on a racist prick every day who was black. Yet black people can be black, and just because you're black, that doesn't give you the excuse or the right to be racist toward other people who are different color. And I dealt with one of those yesterday. So yeah, anybody in any color can be racist. Doesn't matter if black, white, brown, blue. But yeah.
Attention people designated special needs or disabled in British Columbia, Canada. Message from Inclusion BC. Apparently not provisions or considerations made by government for this highly vulnerable population, and calls have occurred about lack of access. Maybe you health support services. Lori Arsenault Stoughton Tim Pilopia Chris Anders Tina Kerno Fauger Mike Allen Shannon Cooley Kelly Green April Tobin Naturally Autistic Anka Nicholas Simons Adrian Dix Dwayne Burnett Justin Trudeau. View this email in your browser. For immediate release. COVID-19 response risks leaving people with disabilities, caregivers behind, warns Inclusion BC. New Westminster, BC, March 19, 2020. As governments and communities struggle to respond to BC's rapidly evolving COVID-19 crisis, Inclusion BC warns of growing concerns that people with intellectual disabilities are being left behind, along with the families and community agencies who support them. It is fundamental to our Canadian values that we do not leave vulnerable people behind in a crisis, said Inclusion BC Executive Director Carla Verschoor. Inclusion BC is a federation of community agencies, families and individuals that works collaboratively with government and community partners to support the inclusion of children, youth, adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. We're urging every government, provincial, federal, municipal and Indigenous, and community agency, every business and nonprofit, and every community initiative to consider and accommodate the unique needs of people with intellectual disabilities and their families as we all work together to help Canadians through this crisis, Verschoor said. Inclusion BC is urging heightened awareness and consideration of the unique needs of this particularly vulnerable group in all emergency planning and responses. Targeted actions are also urgently needed to remove barriers and ensure safety. We're hearing concerns about barriers that are preventing people with intellectual disabilities and their caregivers from being able to comply with public health advice to stay safe and healthy, Verschoor noted. Without forethought planning and accommodations to ensure universal accessibility, people with intellectual disabilities already face barriers to accessing social programs like healthcare, income supports, and public education in their everyday lives, Verschoor noted. These barriers are heightened in emergency situations. Growing strains on existing services, including school closures and staffing challenges, will present added risks for these vulnerable individuals and families with potentially dire consequences if we don't start planning and implementing contingency measures now to ensure that critical supports are in place and can be adapted to meet shifting and urgent needs. Proposed measures include accessibility and inclusion, explicit consideration of the unique needs of individuals with intellectual disabilities in all COVID-19 planning and response, including communication barriers and accessibility of emergency measures intended to help all Canadians, as recommended by the World Health Organization, WHO. BC's Centre for Disease Control's COVID-19 resources should explicitly include people with intellectual disabilities in its list of vulnerable populations. All COVID-19 public health messaging should include plain language versions. Specialized BC helpline with the expertise to answer questions and provide supports addressing the specific needs of people with intellectual disabilities and their families. Emergency supports to ensure security for individuals and extra support for family caregivers who have to step in to replace canceled school and community programs. Use emergency federal funding to support family caregivers who need to fill in for canceled school and community support programs or to comply with public health policies intended to minimize risks of infection and transmission. Avoid any interruption to persons with disabilities (PWD) monthly payments. Suspend all administrative holds, e.g. due to paperwork errors or potential eligibility for federal aid or emergency benefit payments. For families of school-age children and youth with extra support needs, additional supports are urgently needed for critical home and nursing care, medical supplies, mental health, trauma, and family violence supports. CBSAID Access Recommendations. Community supports help agencies that deliver community support programs maintain and adapt their services to changing needs while ensuring the safety of staff and the individuals and families whom they support. Designate staff who deliver critical community living BC and MCFD support programs for people with intellectual disabilities and their families as essential services workers. Work with agencies and employee groups to allow temporary flexibility to reassign staff to meet urgent needs while keeping everyone safe as those change and evolve. Social connectedness, provide emergency technology funding to help community service agencies adapt to work from home and at-home service delivery policies. Funding for computer tablets and internet service to permit people with intellectual disabilities to access supports and services remotely where possible. Inclusion means identifying and removing barriers facing those with intellectual disability. It requires consideration of their unique support needs in universal planning and providing additional supports and accommodations where necessary, Bershore noted. Now, more than ever, we are calling on everyone in BC to demonstrate our province's commitment to inclusion by ensuring that we leave no one out and no one behind. We all have a role to play in advancing solutions collaboratively, and we want to acknowledge and thank all those working formally and informally to help our fellow British Columbians, Bershore said. Inclusion BC has been working intensively with the government, our members and others to identify and address the urgent needs of people with intellectual disabilities in BC's COVID-19 response. We will continue to reach out and utilize the full capacity of our provincial movement as BC adjusts to this evolving threat. 30. Media contact. Don Steele. Inclusion BC Communications. 604-374-1530. dsteele@inclusionbc.org. Advocacy support. Call toll-free 1-844-488-4321. Email advocacy@inclusionbc.org. Inclusion BC. Inclusion BC is a nonprofit federation working with partners to build community and to enhance the lives of children, youth, adults with intellectual disabilities and their families by supporting abilities, promoting action and advancing rights, responsibilities and social justice. Our vision is a world where we all belong. Twitter, Facebook, website. Copyright 2020 Inclusion BC, all rights reserved. You are receiving this email because you are one of Inclusion BC's contacts.
Good.
Our mailing address is Inclusion BC, 227 6th Street, New Westminster, British Columbia V3L3A5, Canada. Add us to your address book.
I'm getting this message out to help because I know Nora, the one who made the post. I know them because I'm friends with them and I'm helping out. Because word need to get out. They need to do it here in the United States too.
Why does everything happen at once? I have overspent on everything, struggling mentally with all the shit that's happening with this coronavirus, spending even more as a result, and now my phone has broke or just the speaker part anyway. All cause I am struggling with just about everything, and usually when this happens I get so overwhelmed and anxious, loudly crying face. I essentially have water damage on my phone. I was watching YouTube videos in the bath and yeah, you can guess what happened next. Yeah, my phone went into the toilet. The phone itself is working, but the speaker or charger port isn't working either. This all happens when I am overwhelmed and not thinking clearly. I am struggling cause I have to ring security to be let into my own flat. There is work happening outside. I have been crying a lot over it, and I am struggling with the photography group I am in cause I don't fit in with anyone from there. Why is everything happening at once?
Ooh, that why I don't use my phone in the bathroom. Exact reason why. And also, ask people for help. That's what I would say. Ask people for help. Literally. Explain to them what happened. It'll be embarrassing, but explain to them what happened and ask for help.
Had to go to the shops today. I needed the basics. That was a big mistake. The shelves were very empty indeed. This stress, along with other stress, post-adoption stuff and another face-to-face assessment, almost made me just go into meltdown in the shop. It has been made quite clear that people are only out for themselves and have no thought for those who may be vulnerable and just need the basic amount. I need ways to destroy the stress. Already contemplating a day out somewhere, but with gigs being canceled, there's little extra income.
I'll be honest. I see it at work. But I go to work around 2 today. With it right now 11 49, but a lot of crazy stuff been happening.
Fuller is a globally collected artist, explorer, and mapmaker who studies the identity and culture of places through what he describes as maps of the mind, intricate hand-drawn artworks of the world we live in based on his personal and purposeful wanderings. Welcome. You found my tiny patch of the internet. Please look around or perhaps purchase a print from the shop. You can discover more about my work here and follow my ramblings and updates on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Now, he autistic, due to what people know. But here, Jane, it's amazing. But I'll bring it up because it's crazy, but yeah. Like, I'm going to bring it up because it's crazy in a way. But yeah. My fiance old Instagram account got hacked. Yes, her account got hacked. I don't know who would think that funny. Right, but it was not right. She upset about it right now. I was there to help her calm down, but yeah. Also, me and Val will be getting married on April 25th unless the coronavirus keep the lockdown going and call everything to be delayed because there's going to be a lot of delay. And that I know for a fact. So, I would not be surprised if it get delayed. But it's been crazy what's been going on. Like, literally. Like, what's been going on like a few days crazy, and what's been going on over there crazy, but yeah. And I'll be honest, I am getting used to my new bed. That'll be very comfortable. But yeah, me and her are keeping contact, and also her and her aunt are on lockdown there in California because whole California under lockdown. A lot of places are, and technically the whole world is technically on lockdown anyway. And it's crazy on what be going on. But yes. It's up and I've been trying to figure out, but everything happened in crazy way. Like literally right here. But me and my fiance are planning our wedding, but trying to figure out what we're going to do after our honeymoon. Or not after our honeymoon, but after our wedding for our honeymoon. Because original plan was for Disney World, but since they are closed, gotta figure out something else. Because they closed because of the coronavirus. So yeah, or COVID-19 to be more exact. So yeah, it's crazy. And also, I am talking about paying for her to go to the College of Charleston because it is her dream school, and I promise to pay for her to go there. And I'm also going to be saving up money for her. So yeah, it's crazy. With all the stuff that is going on. Oof. Did feel a little overwhelmed, but yeah. Oh, and gotta get ready for work in about an hour or so. Check will be more exactly. So yeah, it's crazy. But if I get a chance, I might get my hair cut later on in the week, and I'm not letting my mom do it. I prefer a professional to do it, so yeah. It's crazy. Like, now, it's been crazy. And I done said a lot of stuff because it been crazy, and I mean crazy, crazy. Like literally. And it did. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I hope you guys are being safe, and I hope you guys are having a good Saturday and a good weekend. And I hope you're patting the time under lockdown for right now. And I hope everybody being safe, and I hope everybody find the video pretty entertaining, educational, motivational, informational, all the above. And I'll talk to you guys later. Signing out. Bye, guys.